So I missed the Screen Actors Guild. The Screen Actors Guild used to be on TBS every year, but now they're on Netflix. I don't have Netflix, so I missed out on Netflix. It was hosted by the lovely Kristen Bell. Kristen Bell started in one of my all time favorite TV shows, with the great Don Cheadle, House of Lies. They do not make shows like that anymore. Don Cheadle was living his best life making that show. I miss shows like House of Lies. Shout out to Don Cheadle. Shout out to Kristen Bell. So she hosted the show. But something interesting things happened at the SAG Awards. So, per usual, Shogun won again. Oh man, Shogun was so great. Anna Sewa. Shout out to Anna Sewa. But it keeps on beating out the Penguin. For Penguin, I love Shogun, but the Penguin was my favorite show of the year, but the Penguin keeps on getting knocked out by Shogun. However, Colin Farrell won for Best Actor. He won a Best Actor award. The lovely Kristen Milioti, she did not win for her portrayal of Sophia Falcone, but Milioti will be in a new episode of Black Mirror, so look out for that. So they won, and Only Murders in the Building won, which is unheard of because they never win at all. And Martin Short won for Only Murders in the Building. So that's cool. And from a movie standpoint, Zoe Saldana won again, and Kieran Culkin won again for Best Supporting Actor and Actress. And they've been winning almost every award. So unless something crazy happens, Zoe Saldana and Kieran Culkin will probably win Best Supporting and Best Actor at the Oscars. Here's where things get a little tricky. So Timothée Chalamet won Best Actor. The reason this is interesting is that Timothée Chalamet, for his portrayal of Bob Dylan in The Complete Unknown, hasn't been winning anything. When this all started back in the Golden Globes in January, I thought the whole Best Actor race would be between Timothée Chalamet, the young gun, versus Ralph Fiennes, the old gun, because neither one of them has won. Chalamet's been nominated a bunch of times. He hasn't been nominated. He hasn't won an Oscar. And Ralph Fiennes, he's as great as he is, he hasn't won too many awards, especially an Oscar. And I don't think he's won it. I can't remember if he won a Golden Globe or not. But he hasn't won too many awards for his fine work. So I figured, okay, this is the race. Well, it didn't happen. Adrien Brody won Best Actor at the Golden Globes. And after that, he kept on winning awards, but then something happened with The Brutalist. The Brutalist got into a controversy because they found out that the filmmakers used AI to fix the Hungarian accents in the film. So some people worked on that accent, and I guess they did a good job. And then some people who didn't sound quite right, they kind of used AI to fix it. Now, on one hand, if you got the technology to fix that thing, it makes sense to kind of make it sound more authentic. But they didn't tell anybody. So there's people watching that movie say, wow, they sound really great. It's like pure Hungarian. it's like, yeah, because AI fixed it, but they didn't acknowledge that. And then somebody found out. And The Brutalist went from being the film to beat for a while, and now you don't even hear about it. Adrien Brody stopped winning. Like, he was winning, and he was on his way of winning another Oscar. And he still could win an Oscar. Because I think Adrien Brody is a really great, really fantastic actor. Go watch Winning Time on HBO about the Lakers. He was great as Pat Riley. Please go watch that. But he was winning for The Brutalist, and all of a sudden, you get Timothée Chalamet. And Timothée Chalamet was great with his speech because he was saying how he wants to be one of the greats, and he admires so many people in the audience, and he wants to be one of the greats like Jordan. Timothée Chalamet, man, he is like an ultimate sports fan pretending to be an actor. Timothée Chalamet is a really talented actor, but he talks like a ball player sometimes. I respect the game of Chalamet, but Chalamet wasn't winning anything for A Complete Unknown, and now all of a sudden we get a week before the Oscars, and he wins Best Actor away from Adrien Brody. So it sets up a very interesting storyline. Is Timothée Chalamet going to win Best Actor, or will Adrien Brody come back around and win for The Brutalist? I don't know. And you got Ralph Fiennes. Ralph Fiennes, hey man, I'm just here for the parties. I don't know, I might not win, but I'm just here for the party. So it's going to be interesting what the Best Actor nominees at the Oscars going to do. Another thing that happened was that the Ensemble Prize, basically for Best Picture, went to Conclave. I really thought when the award season started, again, back to the Golden Globes, I thought Conclave was going to be one of the films to beat. And Conclave hasn't won anything. When we go back to the Golden Globes, Conclave didn't win. What won was The Brutalist and Amelia Perez. The Brutalists at one point looked safe until the AI thing. So coming out of the Golden Globes, you have Amelia Perez and you have Sophia Gascon. And you start to see Sophia Gascon everywhere. Sophia Gascon was on Jimmy Fallon. Sophia Gascon was basically the voice of the film. But then those old tweets popped up by Sophia Gascon. Those racist tweets popped up, and she got knocked out. It was like a story of like they wouldn't even pay for her to go to any type of awards thing. They said, no, we don't know her. They cut off everything. It's like, who? Sophia who again? I don't know her. I don't know her. So yeah, so when those racist tweets not only screwed her over, it screwed the film over because for some reason that film became the film to beat coming out of the Golden Globes, even though most people didn't like the film. Most people were confused by the film or they weren't big fans of the film. And people was like, well, why is this film so popular? I didn't even like it. But again, it was a trans storyline. And sometimes the Oscars haven't had a story like that in a while, with the representation and all that stuff. So I kind of figured, okay, it's going to ride the representation wave through the Oscars. So that was happening, right? Those tweets came out. Sophia got knocked out, and in turn, the film got knocked out. The only person that it didn't hurt was Zoe Saldana, and I figured that was going to be the case because I think you knew that Zoe's going to give some speech about being open and honest. And there shouldn't be any hate towards people, and we need to love each other. Zoe Saldana's going to give that speech. So I always figured she's going to keep winning to be a representation of the film, to teach about tolerance, about people, and not preach hate. I knew this was coming, so it didn't hurt Zoe at all. But the film is cooked. The film has no chance of winning an Oscar, which opened the door for the Brutalists. But like I just told you, the Brutalists had an issue, so now that got knocked out. And the film that came after that was this little film called Anora that was winning everything else. Like all the smaller award shows, all the other award shows, it was winning. It's the film with Mikey Madison when she plays a stripper. It was winning. And so that all of a sudden became the film to beat. Last week before the SAG Awards, Anora was the film to beat. And we get to the SAG Awards and Conclave wins. And the only thing I can possibly think of is that SAG Awards, Oscars, maybe they don't feel comfortable giving the Oscar to a film about a stripper. Now, again, it's more than that. It's more than just a stripper film. It's about her boyfriend. I think he's Russian. He comes from a rich family and all that stuff. There's a lot of stuff in that film, right? People loved Anora. And Anora still has a chance to win Best Picture at the Oscars. It really does. But maybe the SAG Award people is like, we don't know if we want to give an award for this film. But we feel safe. Of all the films that's safe, is Conclave. Conclave, if you look at all the films that's left in the award season, the safest film is Conclave, which is such a surprise because it was out of sight, out of mind. Conclave wasn't winning anything. It was Amelia Perez. It was the Brutalists. It was Anora. Conclave wasn't winning jack. And then we get the week before the Oscars, it wins the SAG Award. This Oscars for Best Picture, which will probably be around 11 o'clock at night when they announce it, or 11:10, it's going to be so interesting because I don't know who's going to win. I know Amelia Perez is not going to win. The Brutalist still has an outside shot, even with the AI accents thing. If they love them, because the Brutalist overall is a really good film. If they like that film enough, can they look past the AI part? So maybe some people don't. So we'll X them out. Now it comes down to Anora, the stripper versus the priest, which has been a fantastic movie. Would they give it to Anora, the little engine that could, a movie about a stripper, which again is more than that? Would they give it to the film about the priest in Conclave? That is going to be interesting. And I have no clue which way they're going to go. What do you guys think? Who's going to win Best Picture? Conclave, Anora? Would it go back for the Brutalist? Let me know.